So, good morning. This is Michael Everett Reef. I'm at the Washington State Convention Center this moment. It's about quarter after 9, Wednesday, March 16th, 2016. And they're having a USCAP meeting today. And that involves a lot of science and medical professionals trying to invent ways of examining the human body without actually using the scalpel so that we can better understand injury and illness and the rate of surgery. I know a thing or two about that because I'm an electrical engineer in a minute. Anyway, now I want to start that a sunbathing bed is an excellent medical device. And I jerry-rig it so that I turn it into an x-ray machine. May have been done before. And I think it's not that hard to conceptualize. To build, probably difficult, but maybe not. So you'll get a suntan because of X-rays, ultraviolet light. Right. Well, what if you were able to create a magnetic field that was so powerful that it could plot your entire body out on a map, grid? Well, probably been done. I mean, this science has been around for a long time. But how do we do it quickly without causing more injury and illness and susceptibility to disease? Now this computer I'm using right here, right? You want to know how it works? It has a little magnetic magnet in it in its processor. And then on the screen, electrical grid. And every time you press a key, it causes a gas to pass through the screen and develop a picture, like picture development. And that's how you get your face on the screen through the camera. Oh, you type in what you want, and then it holds it there, the little solenoid, which is a little magnet, it holds open a certain amount of entryways into the computer's structure, so it paints your picture. Well, how do we see into the body like that? Just essentially, can we do it with a camera? Is it possible with a camera to, rather than this big bulky machine? Well, I don't know. Probably some other folks got a better clue than I do. So anyway, that's right. Let's take a picture, right? Right. Use a video camera. You're taking a picture, right? And the whole time, showing up a screen is your entire inside of your body. How do we do that? How do we do that? Without turning the patient to the Incredible Hulk. We got a milk monster from around here. Anyway, kind of like the Incredible Hulk. I think it's cute. There's a She-Hulk too. Well, she's beautiful. See, Bugs had Babs money, and Bruce Banner has Barbara Beautiful. Anyway, when the person's immobilized, how do you do it? They have the camera rotate around them like that, sort of like a CAT scan. That'd be kind of neat. Have them stand there or lay down, and without see really powerful electricity, which could, discombobulate the nervous system. The nervous system is an electrical machine, sorts. It receives electricity like in your head, right? You got these little, what amount to like antennas. They're really tiny, called neurons. And the common assumption is once they're destroyed, they're gone forever. But there's been evidence that they found a way to make them grow again once they're destroyed. So what happens is, while you're out here walking around, the reason that your body stays alive is because the atmosphere is filled with a lot of common materials in microscopic form. You can't even really, begin to understand unless you have actually looked into it, looked under a microscope at it. But when you see our space through a telescope, right, you see what's going on. Well, that's going on all around us every day on Earth. So your brain, right? It's it's waiting for signals, right? Why does it wait? Because of the atmosphere. Why does grass grow? Same reason, right? So it's drawing in these electrical impulses. So how does it? We can't exactly shove somebody's butt and make it work that way, right? That would be illegal, sort of. Unless you're a doctor. It ain't too big. Anyway. Now I'm making faces again. I keep doing that. So how do we capture the image? Well, if a computer screen, right, has vertical and horizontal lines like adults, you can't even see it, right? And the computer is so fine-tuned that when you type a message onto the disk that's spinning around there, the magnet that's in there, right, is being charged by the battery. It's really hot and it gives off heat. So as the disk spins, it's being received by another disk that's stationary. Well, it's like soft, and it causes like energy to go out in certain directions, like without the use of wires, but almost like an continuous pattern, like lightning strikes, like that, along to the edge of the disk, where there's actual wires that transfer that up into the screen, and it does basically the same thing. It's positioned, and periodically along the perimeter of the screen, and then the screen that you have has some gases in it that does the same thing as the disk that I just described by the hard drive. Kind of, for that's how you do letters. That's how you make letters. Well, when you do a camera, it's the same thing. And it creates images that you look at of yourself, your friends, and family, building, and stuff like that. So how do we do that, like medical, like to get inside the body? Well, X-rays is really intense, like sound. You wouldn't realize it's so loud you don't hear it. That's how loud it is. X-rays. It's such a loud noise you don't hear it. That's how loud it is. It's inaudible. It's so loud. It doesn't even cause you to go deaf. It's just one of them things. Very loud. Anyway, that's what vision is. Vision is the reception of that sound. When I look around and I see things, those things are created by sound. And my eyes receive that. Wow. What's going on? I didn't mention it anybody. Yeah, I did. I'm just a scientist. With it. Oh. How y'all doing today? Hi-ho, Silver! Away! Get serious. Anyway, so I would design it. What kind of material would I use? Well, paper wrap. Since we're talking about paper wrap, we all remember the projection screens, right? That when you show a movie, it's on the projection screen. Well, we want to send that image somewhere. So we're gonna have to do it like something like that. Make that screen resemble that projection resemble a computer screen. So is that really that complicated? I don't think so. Not really that. Use some type of filament, right? Like filament, in filament paper, right? Like photographic development paper. Right? It's most logical sort of reason, right? To make an image that isn't permanent. Now, how do you do that? Well, how do we do it on that? We use electricity, right? Isn't that how electricity is? Like a magnetic, like a magnet, like a magnetic eraser, right? That's how we do it. It has to be VHS, right? See what we're doing? We're not really, when you don't create a negative, is it? Are we doing that? So that's how we do it. We start there. If it doesn't work, we try something else. That's how we do it. So you need something, you gotta place the body on there, right? We need to do this quick. This is taking a while. So, I heard there's a lot of computer programming. You have to like sit there and type a lot of stuff. Can we do it very quickly? Do we have to like have all this just like typing and all of that stuff, information like that? Do we have to do it that way? Is it really necessary to do that way? I mean, is it necessary? I don't think so. Man, it's dying. The child is dying. Doctor. Computers are stupid. Well, you're programming. Are you stupid? So photography. You got photography. Probably some smart photography around here, Pat, to help me out. So we got to create an electric field that this magnetic paper almost. Can we use magnetic paper? Sound like we could make something like magnetic paper, right? Possible. It's my fan club. Anyway, boy, so picture like paper that can act as a screen, like a receivership, like that disk in the hard drive in the computer. Something we're trying to do, right? Sound about right, right? So can we create like one that's like a transfer paper, like that can hold the image, and then another metal paper that we can magnify to create heat, right? Or create the magnetic itself, right? It'll pull the image through the paper, and then as the paper absorbs the image and it dissipates, like invisible ink, right? It sends it the images it receives, through telephone wires, like so to speak, right, into a computer terminal, into a television. I mean, sounds possible, right? I think it is. So it sounds kind of economical. I'm gonna get these thin sheets of this this soft paper, and then of this sort of metallic paper that we're going to use. We're going to magnetize the metallic paper, and then we're going to use the soft paper to capture the image. Well, we have a thing called telephone. What do you call that stuff again? Fiber optics. Would it be possible, you think, to make something like a curtain, like? Of course, we put it into like a bed or something. Can we do it that way? I think we can. And then, you slide the person into a tube. Is that is that the same as a CAT scan? CAT scan, big giant magnet pull electricity to your head to get an image what's inside there, right? We got to pretty much do the same thing, right? I don't think so. I think, of course, it's about the same thing. But how we not roast the guy? I mean, we're talking about suntan in bed. How does that work? How do we make that happen without roasting the guy? Do we make the tube really cold? Well, that might interfere with the image, right? I don't think it will. Carbon dioxide makes things cold, right? You only get a little bit of oxygen in breathing, right? So you want to stick somebody in a tube full of carbon dioxide? I didn't say run your car. We're gonna put it in a bottle, stick somebody inside. Hey, what y'all crazy or something? What do I look like? Really tired, Sheriff. That's because I'm the marshal. Show me to my phone. So what kind of paper is that? What do we make that paper out of? We can use plastics. Plastic. Plastics. Here's here's a board, aren't you? It's got to be like a soft, like a pliable stuff, right? And you're going to the work. Stuff that kind of melts, but doesn't exactly like melt when we use this heat that we want to use, radio waves. We're not going to do like radio short waves. Going to short wave. We're a roast cat. We're not going to turn them into a turkey, right? Some of you getting hungry, ain't you? We'll start throwing up, clean your belly, right? After all, we got smoked chicken. Stop talking like that, right? The sheriff might be around. Y'all better calm down at all. You got a big appetite. The chief's selling tickets at the door, right? Anyway, so this paper is going to absorb. You know, your body gives off a certain amount of heat, right? Like naturally, it respirates, right? Absorbs a little heat, gives off a little heat, right? Well, if we use this electromagnet, right, to draw all the way around the body, right, to like pull. Now, isn't that something like when it's cold, your body draws in all the blood towards your spine, right, towards the core of your body. So if we had the room cold like carbon dioxide, right, and we use super magnets, right, instead of like X-ray where we push radio waves through the body, what if we were to draw it out? Would that be too stressful on the heart? Would we create a reasonable blood pressure and heart rate? I think we can. Heat out of the center of our body. Let's see, so if we're drawing heat out of the center of the body, right, because it's a cold room, right, and it's it draws to the center of your body anyways to produce heat, right? Because the blood's going to circulate, it's going to pull that fat from your skin near the, outside of your body. It's going to pull it to the inside of your body. And it's going to pull the heat. In a cold room, your heart pulls everything to the center of the body. Right. Now, if we use electromagnets to try to pull it out in the cold room, right, it wouldn't really heat the room. So don't worry about cooking the guy, frying the guy, right? Or an X-ray might fry the guy, right? And we put them in a cold room, run X-ray, dangerous, right? So what if we would do the reverse, like pull the heat out? Would the room have to be really cold? I guess we want a clear image, right? I mean, it's kind of like a theory right now. Right? And that would make the heart work harder, almost like a stimulant, like almost artificial, kind of like artificial resuscitation. There's something there too, right? Somebody stops breathing, stick them in our machine, where we just want to X-ray the body. The heart is weak, maybe arteriosclerosis.
Hey, how you doing? I think it falls everywhere, all the time.
So we probably could clear the arteries out too, right? I mean, with our method, right? Make the body work. Not zapping it with X-rays, nuking it. Anyway, so we're going to use this movie screen, like in a movie theater, same type of stuff, right? Same type of paper. Would that work, you think, for sending images to like negatives in another room? I think it will. Now I mentioned filament wire and what else? Oh, fiber optics, right? Fiber optics is actually liquid. So what if we were? We don't have to do it on the screen. We don't exactly have to do it on the screen. Maybe behind the screen. Maybe it's part of the screen. The magnet is going to be pulling heat towards. It's going to pass through the screen, and I guess ultimately, with drawing, pulling all directions, well, it'll keep everything centralized within the body's framework, right? But the person is probably going to lose some weight in our mapping. We want a good, clear picture. It's going to start a chain reaction with the person, which I was going to be accelerated. So would it work in the beastie? I think it will. Sort of amping up the body without stimulants, without drugs, per se. Got, food products. I like food though, so. But if I was 200 pounds overweight and I was dying, I'd be willing 2 or 3 times a week pass on a meal. Wouldn't you? Anyway, so I mentioned like a sunbathing table. How cold would we have to make that table? What would be a reasonable temperature? 20 degrees? We could use some really powerful magnets if we made that from 20 degrees. Uh, instead of, and just, uh, anyway, I just want to talk about that for a minute. What kind of food we feed the person before we take our images? Probably, I would say like carbohydrates, high intense carbohydrates, like Red Bull. My work would be. There's my friend over there. Another statue. Chief Seattle. They immortalized him. But it's a little medical stuff today, a little science, a little law history. Anyway, I gotta get going. I want you all to have a wonderful day. You hear me? So, on my computer. Something's, something's wrong with my computer. Say don't start no trouble. I loved it. I like it. What's all have a nice day.